Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Assalamu alaikum to those of you who are from the Muslim family. So today is a special day. I am super excited because I love to be able to, one, sit at the feet of my elders and my respected aunties and individuals in my life who give me wisdom. And two, we get to celebrate. So I'm going to tell you what we're celebrating in just a moment. But for those of you who are new to me, my name is Zarina El-Amin. I am a cultural anthropologist, and I am the founder of Book Power Publishing. We are a self-publishing company that provides services and coaching for aspiring authors. We want to help people be able to get their ideas out of their head, down onto paper, and out there into the world. And a big, big, big part of our focus is specifically around history and specifically around legacy. What we want to see is our people right now capturing our legacy, capturing our ideas, capturing the thoughts that we have so that we can share and preserve our truth for the future generations. Now, today, we have a beautiful, beautiful guest who is going to talk to us about why she decided to look into our history and bring that forward. So I'm going to introduce you all to Sister Asilah Yero. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Asilah.
Alaikum assalam, Sister Zarina.
I am so excited. Yeah, I'm super excited to have you here because this is a celebration. This is a celebration. This is a celebration. So let me introduce you and tell people who you are. So Sister Asilah Yero is a grandmother, a retired educator, a community member, and now she is also an author. So Sister Asilah, today we are celebrating the book launch of her book, Believers Chained. Believers Chained. So, Believers Chained is an educational activity book that pays homage to enslaved Muslims who were brought to America. This workbook right here shares their many contributions and introduces children to the important hidden figures in American Islamic history. So, Sister Asilah, congratulations.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. This has been a journey. It's something that I started too many years ago, and I would stop, I'd put it down and come back to it. And then I met this one sister, Sister Betty Hassan Amin. And I told her that the book was finished. And of course, she said, "Well, what are you waiting on?" So here it is. Like I said, it started many, many years ago. Someone I had read this play by, I think it was, no, I had read this book by Mir Muhammad, and I thought, that sounds like a play. So what I did is I wrote a play for the children at Sister Clara Muhammad schools that I was working at, and it was a great play. It was successful. The parents and the audience enjoyed it, and I just, from that play, I just put the notes up and said, "Well, I approve." So come back around 10, 12 years later, my deceased husband, he brought me this book, and he said, it was a little small book. He said, "Asilah, you can do this." And I said, "Well, sure I can." But did I have an interest in it? No, I did not. And I got to thinking as time went by, and I used to ask my mother a bunch of questions and things. And I asked her one particular question that I just is still etched in my mind. Said, "Mama, was your grandmother a slave?"
Mm.
And she said, "No, baby, we didn't have any slaves in our family." And I said, "So my grandmother's mother was not a slave?" And she said, "No." And I said, "So what did she tell you about slavery?" And she told me that some of the slaves would have to hide behind a pot or tree and go pray. And she also told me that they would go way out in the woods and pray. Mm. And that stayed with me because I was a very, very young girl. And I decided to put it in a book.
Wait a minute. So your mother is talking about her grandmother, right? So your mom is talking about her grandma, and she's saying that she wasn't a slave, but she had this memory of people going out and praying, like secretly praying or such.
Yes, they were secretly praying. Her mother's mother had told her that they were not slaves, but she remembered that different people would go and hide to pray.
Wow.
Go and hide. She said they would hide behind a pot or out in the woods behind trees and pray.
Wow. Man, I almost get goosebumps when I think about this because faith is so important and people can be in the middle of like hell sometimes. And these are people that clearly had faith within them, right? They had a belief in God and they wanted to pray to God, but had to hide in order to pray to God. So, what you're talking about in this book, like this educational workbook, is based on faith, but it's looking at these people who came from Africa, who were snatched from Africa, brought to America. And you're saying that a lot of the people who came from from Africa to America were Muslim. Is that correct?
Yes, there was over 35% of them were Muslim. They worshiped God. They worshiped Allah. They worshiped the one God. They didn't know or they didn't practice the Trinitarian doctrine. They practiced the worship of one. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, like, why was this subject so like important to you that you felt that you actually had to get it down and put? And let me show some people what's in here first, so that you can kind of see. So, what Sister Asilah has done, she's done a lot of research on her own, and then inside of this workbook, because this is a workbook for children, for children and families, I should say, but it's filled with like coloring pages. You have some things on here on Africa. We go to Mali, the great masjid of Janneh, Mali. We have, different topics all centered around enslaved Muslims and faith and this horrific thing that happened with the slave trade. But I'm curious for you, like a lot of times people may have a rough idea of, okay, like I'm interested in faith. My grandmother, I heard about these stories about people hiding and praying and things. But what actually made you put the information that you researched and such like into this book?
Well, as I said, I written a play from a book that I had read. It was a history book, I think it's called Muslims in America. Mm-hmm. And from there, it just stayed because, today we have so many so-called officials that say, oh, it didn't happen, or you were in a better place, or just a lot of things that they say that is untrue. Mm-hmm. And so they're trying to take our history, our suffering, our pain, our love, our worship in God away from us and say that you were in a better place. You're in a better place now. You didn't have any skills. We gave you skills. You learned skills. You learned skills when you came over here. And the truth be known, already we spoke more than one language anyway. We were already mathematicians and astrologers and horticulturists and great thinkers. We were already medicine men, shaman and doulas and more. Mm-hmm. Already that we brought that with us, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. A lot of us lost that culture. Mm. That's that can't nobody take from us.
Mm-hmm. So, bringing out that history, bringing out those skills and such, like, what do you hope people get out of this book? Who do you really hope picks this up and starts to use it?
Well, let me tell you this. In this book, I dedicated this book to my four grandchildren, which is Zayd, Aya, Amira, and Yusuf. And I also dedicated it to all the descendants that were enslaved here in America from Adam. So if we can take that and those of us who were enslaved and those of us who just have an interest, if we can just take that and get some kind of benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So for those of you who are just joining us, I want you to head on over to Amazon, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay. I want you to head on over to Amazon. I dropped the link in the chat box, but you can also go to Amazon and type in Believers Chained, and Asilah Yero, Asilah Yero, Yero, and grab her book. And once you get the educational workbook, whether you're a child or an adult, you're going to learn something from it. My kids picked it up from it just being sitting on the table, and they were actually, looking into it and asking questions. And that's always a good sign for me. Like when kids can pick it up on their own, and it holds their interest, then that's a good sign, for me. So I want you all to head on over to Amazon, pick up the book, Believers Chained, Asilah Yero. Before I let you go, Sister Asilah, I want to know about the cover. Can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to put Africa on the cover with, I think I'm going to let you tell me why you decided to design it in this way.
Okay, let me tell you this. This is a quilt that I did on the cover of my book.
Wow.
And on this, it's called Believers Chained at the top, and then Asilah Yero at the bottom. Okay, this is the continent of where civilization began. And from there, you see a ship coming in and ships going out. So they were taking the slaves, they were taking the human cargo along with whatever else, guns, ammunition, whiskey, whatever. Allah knows, I don't know. But from this point, and they were bringing it to America. So, and along with the slaves coming, many of them had made Hajj. They had already made Hajj. And like I said, they were very highly, highly educated. So they have the Kaaba in their heart. They brought it to America. And that's our struggle here, is striving to please Allah. And that's why this Kaaba is right in the center of America, because now there's Muslims not only who came on the slave ships, but also there's Muslims here from other countries. And they have this great in their heart, and it's the heart of America right here.
I love that. I think you did such a good job, like with the symbolism. I think you did a really good job with the illustrations, like this designing what you wanted in the book. I think you did a really good job as far as having different types of activities in the book as well, because it's something, this book right here is a different type of book. As I said, it's an educational workbook, but it's also something that can spark conversations. It's a conversation tool. And right now, we need to be able to have real open, real honest, real conversations about history and also where we're going. So I think that what you've been able to pull together, like I learned about some hidden figures that I had never heard of before, and that was really good for me to be able to see a broader breadth of the people that struggled, and what they also brought forward. So go over to Amazon, you all, Believers Chained. If there's anyone here who has any questions for Sister Asilah, you can type those into the chat box. and I will bring those out. But I want you all to, first of all, just congratulate her. Please pray for her. Please ask that God put blessing and success with everything that she's doing that's positive and great and trying to make our world a better place. Each and every one of us have something we can contribute. And she brought forward her first, I don't want to say her first contribution, but her first literary contribution. Maybe I should say it that way, right? This is her big literary contribution that is going to be here into perpetuity. And so we thank you so much, Sister Asilah. I know that you have some other things to get into, so I'm not going to keep you. Are there any final words that you have surrounding the book or your work that you would like to share with us?
Well, I would like to say that these characters in our books, in this book, they were real. They made great contributions to America, despite them being enslaved, despite them being brutally abused and mistreated. They were still blessed, and they never forgot who created them. They never forgot their creator.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about it is they left a legacy for us to follow, and they shared it. Awesome. And of course, buy the book.
Right. And of course, buy the book. Thank you, Higher Boy, Black Fox. Oi. They said the book looks interesting. Thank you so much. Go over to Amazon and you can grab a copy. It's full color, it's beautiful. And use it, on your coffee table. Use it in classrooms. Use it for those of you who are homeschooling. This is a perfect tool to be able to build some lessons around. Use the book to spark conversations around Believers Chained and also where we're going. So, Sister Asilah, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us a little bit of the backstory of why you decided to put this book together and what we hope comes out of it. As I said, we pray that Allah continues to bless you. I'm super proud of you because I'm telling you, like, so many people have stuff that goes on in their head, but they don't actually put the work into getting this done. And you did that. And so I'm extremely proud and happy for you. And I thank you. I thank you for for doing the work and not just talking and thinking about it. So
thank you so much for your time, and thank you for this avenue to share my book. I appreciate you. Thank you. And may God bless you to be successful.
I all right. Bye, everybody. Buy the book, Believers Chained, Asilah Yero. Go to Amazon and you can get it there. All right. Peace, everybody.
Thank you.